Dev Prabodhani Ekadashi, which is also known as Dev Bhuti Ekadashi. आज देवताएं उठते हैं. The devatas, they wake up today on Dev Prabodhani Ekadashi. That's why the name is Dev Prabodhani. In other words, the one who gets awakened or who wakens up. And who are these personalities? They are the Devs. Who are these Devs? The Supreme Almighty Lord Shri Krishna, Narayan. And along with him, all the Devtas. All the Devtas. In other words, the divine government. The Supreme Divine Personality and the entire Devas, they sleep for 4 months. It starts from Guru Purnima, which is July, and it goes until November. So there is the 1 month, July to August, and then we have Krishnashtami, we have Radhashtami, followed by Krishnashtami, August to September, and then September to October, where we start having Navratri, and then we have Dashera, Vijayadashmi, and then we have Sharat Purnima, and then we have Deepavali, and Govardhan, Gopashtami, and after Ashtami comes Agyaras, the 11th Luna night in Shukla Paksh. So this is known as Ekadashi. And this particular Ekadashi is known as Dev Prabodhani Ekadashi, which is also known as Dev Diwali. All the auspicious actions are stopped for the 4 months. There is no wedding and no such merriment taking place. Because all the Devas along with the Supreme Almighty Lord shayans, rests. This awakening of the Devas that's why known as Dev Diwali, because all the auspicious things, the marriages start. We start receiving all the cards, the wedding cards, and the wedding season began after Diwali, as we all know. So, Devatas, why do they go off to sleep? Why does the Supreme Almighty Lord goes up to sleep? You may be wondering, if the Lord sleeps, then everything will sleep. Yes. This is the Supreme Almighty Lord's Leela, the divine Leela. During the time of Mahapralaya, total dissolution, when the entire creation is dissolved during the time of Mahapralaya, there is no work left. All the souls, they enter into Prakriti, and Prakriti enters into the Mahaudar of the Lord. Thus all the souls enter into the Mahaudar of the Lord. There is no work. So when there is no work, the creation is dissolved, then the Supreme Almighty Lord, along with all the Devas, they would sleep for millions of yugas until the next creation would come around. So after dissolution, it's not that tomorrow creation will be done. So after millions of yugas, next creation will come. So all this while, the Lord would be sleeping. So one day Mahalakshmi, the Ardhangi, the eternal consort of the Supreme Narayan, Mahavishnu, said to him that you are continuously awake for a very long time as well. So why don't you do something like this, whereby there is a time limit set where you can take your rest? So the Lord said, okay, in the 12 months, for 4 months, I will sleep. And this time begins with Guru Purnima, because when the Supreme Almighty Lord stops his actions, in other words, goes to sleep, along with all the Devas, then the question came from us Mahapapis, the Rishis and Munis questioned, but they questioned on our behalf. That, oh my Lord, when you go off to sleep, and when all the Devis, Devas, they go off to sleep, then who is going to take care of us? You are the protector, you are the operator. The creator does his job, the destructor does his job, but my Lord, you are the one who is always constantly protecting us, operating. The Lord smiled and said, not to worry. The only one personality who has captivated my heart even, whose foot dust even I seek for, are the supreme Rasik saints. The Supreme Personality Guru. So under Guru's kripa and guidance and protection, for 4 months you all will be taken care of. So from Guru Purnima till Devahuti, Dev Prabodhani Ekadashi, we are under the protection of the Guru. Those who are at the shelter of the Supreme Acharya, of the Supreme Guru, they, even during this time when Mahapap can very easily take place, are protected, are guided. Thus, during this period of Chaumasi means the Chaturmas, Mas means month, the 4 months, which is known as Chaumasi. All the activities, even by the great sages, saints, are stopped. They only do the bhajan, the kirtan, the sumiran. No other work is done for the 4 months. Most Babas in India also practice that for the 4 months. Usually they do come to Vrindavan, because it is said that during Chaumasi, all the tirth, all the very auspicious places of pilgrimage, the sacred pilgrimage places, all the tirth comes to Vrindavan. Every tirth comes to Vrindavan. So most of the sages, Babas, they go to Vrindavan and they do bhajan kirtan. All the other activities are stopped. This is known as Chaumasi for the 4 months. And now with Dev Diwali, which is Dev Prabodhani Ekadashi, the Supreme Almighty Lord wakes up, and all the Devas wake up today. So it is the most auspicious occasion during our sadhana shivir in Mandhar. The full night chanting would take place on Dev Prabodhani Ekadashi, that is tonight. Generally we would do Kartik Purnima as well, but due to being the last day of sadhana, sometimes it would be stopped at 12 o'clock midnight. But Ekadashi comes before Purnima, so we have a couple more days to go before the end of sadhana shivir. So devotees can very easily stay up till 4 a.m. in the morning. So from 4 a.m. in the morning, the sadhana would start till the next day 4 a.m. in the morning. And a lot of times fasting is done during this month. Lots of scriptures talk about it. Why the fasting is talked about, Sri Maharaj explains to us beautifully that the reason for fasting is not a ritualistic practice which people have started doing nowadays. It has become a ritual. Fasting is very good for our health as well, and for our mind as well, and for our spiritual practice as well. Why? Because we do not waste time in cooking, or those who waste their time in cooking and then they also utilize that time in serving, and those who eat, they utilize that time in eating. And once we eat the food, then we become very lethargic. The mind cannot operate doing two things. It starts to digest the food, so we start to feel very sleepy. Now we need to be up doing sadhana, doing devotion, because today, the day of Devi, Dev Prabodhani, Ekadashi, which is their Diwali, is the rising, the waking of the Supreme Lord along with all the Devis and Devas. Most auspicious. Take a bath and drown yourself in the grace of the Divine Lord as He opens His eyes. So if we eat and then feed ourselves full and then we feel very lethargic, then our devotional fire will be down, will be low. And the mind is not even prepared. It's just like any other normal day. We are materialistic, we live our lives. And we eat and we sleep. And we work and we earn money, and that's it. So something very special has to be told to the mind. And the special thing is that today, after 4 months, today is the day when the Lord's going to open His eyes, and the grace is immensely powerful, and my sins would be all eliminated if I can just drown myself and immerse myself in the Nam Sankirtan, in chanting the glories of the Lord's name. Thus, to save time, become miser and save time. No cooking. And if you do cook, very little, not a lavish thing. Not too much time taking. Sri Maharaji says you can eat. If your mind is doing the sumiran of food, then no point fasting. So fasting is not something that is encouraged by Maharaji. Maharaji encourages us doing sumiran. But to do sumiran, we need to not tighten up our stomach too much also. And we should not get our heads working too much into burning, brains working too much into burning the food. Thus, that is why a lot of scriptures, a lot of Babas do promote on fasting on this day, Ekadashi fast. There are very many Ekadashis which come throughout the year, but this Dev Prabodhani Ekadashi is most auspicious, and if you wish to do fasting, that's very good if you can, but if you say you can't because your mind starts to think about food and your stomach starts to do the goggle, then it's fine. You do eat, but eat little bit to just to quench your thirst and to quench your hunger, but don't waste too much time in cooking, in eating, etc. try to become a miser and collect a lot of time, so that all that precious time and moment can be devoted in chanting the holy name of the Lord, crying at the lotus feet of the Lord, and seeking for His grace. Thus, this is the significance of Dev Prabodhani Ekadashi. And in this Ekadashi, we all shall also, with our hearts and our minds attached with love in the divine lotus feet of Guru and Govinda, we shall try to drown ourselves in the glorification of Lord's name. Drink the divine nectar of the divine name. Get yourself immersed, get your mind immersed in the divine name. Now we can see what Sri Maharaj Ji says on Dev Prabodhani Ekadashi. Boliye Srimad Sadguru Sarkar ki Jai.
ये देव प्रबोधिनी एकादशी कहलाती है। इसका इतिहास ऐसा है कि हमेशा भगवान महाप्रलय के बाद सोया करते थे और करोड़ों युग सोते रहते थे, क्योंकि सृष्टि नहीं थी, कोई काम नहीं था। तो लक्ष्मी जी ने एक बार कहा कि आप लगातार जागते हैं, इतने युग, इसके बजाय आप लिमिट बना दीजिए 1 साल का। तो ठाकुर जी ने कहा अच्छा ठीक है, मैं 4 महीने सोया करूंगा हर साल। उसको चौमासा कहते हैं। महात्मा लोग एक ही जगह रहते हैं 4 महीने, ये सुना होगा आप लोगों ने। वृंदावन में सारे तीर्थ आ करके 4 महीने वहीं निवास करते हैं। आज के दिन ठाकुर जी उठते हैं और सब देवता लोग भी उठते हैं, तो देव प्रबोधिनी माने जागने वाली एकादशी कहते हैं। इसलिए उसका बड़ा महत्व है। पुराणों में और अनेक ग्रंथों में बड़ी बड़ी कथाएं आती हैं। उस दिन व्रत रहना चाहिए, भगवान में ही मन का चिंतन होना चाहिए, और भी जो धार्मिक कार्य है, दान वगैरह, वो सब उस दिन करने का विशेष महत्व है।